Hello Aquarius, my name is Missy and I'm here to read some AstroCharms for the month of October. My intention for this reading is going to be a little bit different than what it normally is. I am going to focus a little bit more on the astrological events that are happening this month. We have Mercury stationing direct tomorrow, October the 2nd. Pluto stations October the 8th, and Saturn was stationed direct October the 23rd, which leaves the lunar eclipse on the 25th in Scorpio. So a lot of energy happening in October, and the energy that's happening is important for two reasons. This is the last retrograde, or this retrograde that Pluto is currently in. He's getting ready to station direct on the 8th. This was his last retrograde in the sign of Capricorn before he transitions into Aquarius, which means that this month in October is going to be sort of a preview of, what it is, or at least this reading is meant to be a preview of what it is that's going to be changing when Pluto changes signs. But also here in October, this reading is meant to look at what it is that you need to close out. What are the cycles that you need to end or close out in order to prepare yourself for that transition? So for Aquarius, we have three houses that we're looking at here. We have Mercury stationing direct in your 8th house in Virgo. Then we have Pluto stationing direct in your 12th house and Saturn stationing direct in your 1st house. So first, let's talk about Pluto here. Pluto is an outer planet, very slow moving, which means that his transit through Capricorn in your 12th house, it's been a very long one, for at least 12 or more, definitely more years. And so the transit of Pluto through the 12th house this is where things are really changing deep within your own psyche, right? Deep within your own mental and emotional health and well-being. So there's a lot happening on the inside that maybe hasn't shown too much on the outside yet. And the reason that I say that is because you have Saturn transiting your 1st house. Now, I do have to clarify one thing. This specific reading, if you are watching this reading as an Aquarius rising, this reading will resonate for you much more than it would if you're watching it as an Aquarius sun or moon or other placements in Aquarius. The reason for that is the configuration of the wheel here puts Aquarius on the ascendant, which means all of the houses are going to correspond to your personal chart if you have an Aquarius ascendant. However, if you have an Aquarius sun, this isn't going to correspond to your chart because I don't know where your sun is. Do you understand? So your ascendant, if you have an Aquarius ascendant, is always going to be in the 1st house, which means the other houses will correspond. So the details will fit much better for an Aquarius rising than they would Aquarius sun or moon. So with that said, having Pluto transiting the 12th house has to do with your psyche, right? Your mental health and well-being, the secrets that you hide, the fantasies that you have, the fears that you have. All of those things have been changing on the inside, but with Saturn transiting the 1st house, it's restricting how you express that in the outer, right? Because that's what the 1st house is about. It's your appearance, or how you are interacting or trying to affect change in the world, the actions that you are putting out into the world. They're restricted in some way with Saturn in the 1st house. Now that's all going to change when Pluto changes signs from the 12th house to the 1st house. When that happens and Pluto changes signs in March of 2023, more than likely you're going to be now expressing the changes that have been happening internally. They'll start to come out externally in subtle ways, because Pluto again is a very slow moving planet. So the transit through your 1st house, when he moves into Aquarius, it might be a little bit rebellious. Like you might feel a little bit rebellious. You may subtly but completely change everything about your personality and your appearance over the next 12 to 36 years, depending. I haven't looked it up to know specifically how long Oh, interesting. It could be that changing your appearance is going to be attracting love or lust. Hold on. It could be lust that is a burden. Maybe this brings a lot of attention to you that seems like a burden. Hold on. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I do think this change that's happened for you internally, by the time it becomes apparent that these changes are happening for you externally, the message that's coming through here in the cards, it's a little different for you than it has been for all of the other signs, I'm going to be honest. My intention for the cards was to look at what it was that you needed to put an end to, what were the cycles that you needed to end. But I feel like this is a message coming through of what you need to prepare for rather than end, if I'm being honest. Okay. This has to do with, okay, all of the changes, let me feel this out for a second. So this has to do with everything that's been going on psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and how that's now going to be expressed in the physical, probably in your appearance. It's going to attract a lot of attention for you that I think is going to be burdensome. It's going to be like it might be exciting at first with this awakening transcendence, right? You're excited about it at first, and it heals you in some way. Like maybe there's something where you felt like maybe you didn't measure up in your appearance, or there was something that was not quite, like it wasn't enough, or there was some insecurity is the word I'm looking for. It's going to heal the insecurity you had around your appearance. This transformation is going to heal that insecurity. And then we have unique and distinctive, right? I think whatever this is, like it makes you very, like your attractiveness, then you're very unique, distinctive, attractive. It's bringing a lot of attention, a lot of anger and jealousy, people holding grudges. They don't like the fact that you're getting attention. Maybe it's because it's someone that you have a relationship with and they don't trust you now that you're getting attention. And then we have our, okay, so let me get these situated here for a second. I want to take this out. So this deck, when I purchased this deck, and it's funny because when I set up this particular reading, I did not want to or intend to do any kind of mediumship, anything, but this particular deck keeps calling my name. It called my name in the store. I got it from this store called Memento Mori. I can't even remember what city it's in, but it's here in California. It just kind of called my name when I was in the store, and it was right after I had to put my dog to sleep because she was so sick. She couldn't barely walk. And I was just so sad, and I saw this deck, and it was called something, I can't remember the name of it, and I should probably go get the box, but anyway, something about animal bones or animal spirits, something. And the description was, I can't, let me Google the name of that practice is, reading bones. It's not something that I ever did, but it just at the time I felt so strongly called to the deck because of losing my dog, having to have her put to sleep, and how hard it was for me. God, I want to cry right now. Anyway, and so I've been very called to the deck ever since, and I was not intending to have any, come on, I need Google. Sangoma, hold on, that's what it's called. Throwing bones is called osteomancy. Throwing bones is called osteomancy or scapulomancy. I don't think I'm saying that that correctly. But anyway, that's what the deck was talking about. It was, you know, it's for that type of reading. So when I opened it up and I saw that these particular, the cards that represent people, I knew that this deck was going to be a mediumship deck, not just for animals, but also for people. I knew that when I used this deck that mediumship messages would come through. I also really felt very strongly that this is a pagan deck. Not that I'm trying to exclude other belief systems or religious systems at all. It's just that it's very clear to me looking at the, you know, well, first of all, the act of reading bones is a very pagan belief. And so, but there is a particular card in here that I feel is very divine feminine. This card here, very divine feminine, blessed mother, divine mother energy, or the goddess energy. Although I don't think that excludes the masculine or God energy at all. I just feel that this deck is meant to have feminine, scorpionic, mediumship qualities, because Scorpio is a feminine sign. It rules the 8th house, which is the house of mediumship. So, and it's meant to channel pagan beliefs and ancestral systems, right? So if you have a loved one coming through, this is, you know, more than likely someone who comes from that type of system or belief system. And this is their message to you here. This is the message they're trying to bring to you, and then they're saying caution. Here, use wisdom. The owl, the reason he's such a good predator is because of his eyesight. He has such good eyesight, right? So really pay attention. Again, curiosity and exploration, that's the other thing. You know, think about how smart raccoons are. So really, really use your brains, okay? You pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Probably an earth sign could be a good part of the problem over here. You know, whoever this is that's angry. And then we have another ancestor coming through here. Here's the thing. You could have a passed on loved one who's a female coming through as well. I strongly feel that if this is a female, this ancestor that's coming through is not from a pagan tradition, really, to be honest. I really intended for the cards to come through as that, but I feel strongly looking at this one that it's not from the same pagan tradition. So you could have something like that in your chart. But they're saying specifically with these two cards that there's something about this love, lust, the people that you're attracting, like there's somebody that maybe you are attracted to that you need to be warned about, to be cautious about, because they're withdrawn and secretive, but it's a romantic person. They might be generous when they come in. They might sacrifice, right? But this also, because I intended for this to be a goddess energy, this is like spirit coming through, like really doubling down on this. Like like this person might come in and might say how connected they are spiritually when they're maybe not, if that makes sense. Like this is a doubling down on the warning, in my opinion, the way it's coming through. They're saying be adaptable, be ready to like be watchful and adaptable to like seize the opportunity to get away if you can, or to avoid this or whatever. But don't be cruel to anybody. You know, yeah. Very interesting message. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it is that you need to close out, to be honest with you, other than, you know, doing the rest of this shadow work, because I think that's what that's been, is a lot of like getting to know yourself energy, really getting to know who you are, what you want, what you don't want, your fears, hopes, fears, all that kind of stuff, because that's what the energy is that comes through here. Maybe you've been trying to manifest as well, because if you're Aquarius rising, that means you have Capricorn in the 12th house, which is, you know, Capricorn likes to manifest. I think I'm going to put this caution card here as your overall like reminder for the month of October. Just pay attention, pay attention. And then we'll go ahead and get some charms. And see, we have, we have Jesus Take the Wheel, Carrie Underwood in the background. And it's the part where she's talking about, in the very beginning, where she didn't pay attention, she was moving way too fast. Pay attention, pay attention. On a thin black sheet of glass, before she knew it, she was spinning on a thin black sheet of glass. Yeah, you don't want to be on thin ice. Okay. Interesting. You've got the Angel of Peace that fell off the board. And that's coming between the 5th and 6th houses here. Which is, you know, if you're, well, it has to do with like health and healing. For the 6th house, but also here because this has to do with your joy. So if we're talking about mental health and well-being over here, then this would absolutely talk about bringing peace to yourself through finding your joy, so that you know what to do with yourself each day, how to spend your time each day is like important. Also with this clear quartz, so clear quartz is very, it's like a master healer, right? So this is very healing energy. And this particular piece, I always feel like it's a scepter quartz, which is saying you are in total control. And it came out over the 11th and 12th houses here. So this is all about that Pluto energy. You are in total control of this transformation. And I think basically what it's saying is like you have been in control. Like maybe that's the reason there isn't anything else that you need to close out other than being cautious when it comes to new people coming in that you're attracted to, because some of them may not have the best intentions. And that could be attached to a person, place, or thing with the initial E. Also with this is the 11th house up here, you could have a friend with the initial I. In the 10th house, especially having Scorpio in the 10th house, that's kind of very deep introspective energy anyway, but you've got the tourmalated quartz, which talks about getting balanced, balancing out your reputation in some way, or your integrity, doing something to balance out and protect your integrity. Take that however it resonates. Now, this specific charm it has a special meaning, and it's coming out over the 8th house with the charm for Virgo. Now this was a pin that belonged to my mother. My mother has since passed away, and so I put this charm in my box to represent a passed on loved one, a mother figure, mother, grandmother, aunt, sister, whichever person in your life took on the role of your mother, possibly a Virgo, coming through the 8th house. It's a message of following your intuition, because it came in upside down, like you don't see. It could be a message coming through, like you could be getting an intuitive message from a passed on loved one that you are ignoring and don't see or don't believe when it happens. It could be very healing. Also, Mercury is going direct in Virgo. And so that is happening in your 8th house, which, something about a message from your mother that you're ignoring that can be very healing, something about his healing conversation, a wisdom, intuition advice coming from the mother that you're ignoring that is actually very healing, could be attached to a Virgo. But, more than that, this is just kind of doubling down on that Mercury direct. And then you've got this, it could be connected to something creative, whether that's a sexual energy or creative being, like creative pursuits. We also have the song Another One Bites the Dust, Clean. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this here because I'm running out of light. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, anything you can to help me get my channel out there as I'm new here, and I thank you for watching.